in the dawn's early light. Memories awake, mountains rise high, where the river snake, the valleys whisper tales of our ancient kin, the land of our ancestors, where we once began. Vibrant color painting our daily stride, villagers toiling, embracing their life, smiles on their faces, laughter in the air, a beautiful existence, a world so rare. Oh, echoes of the far east, your songs linger on in the heart of a wanderer, though the days have gone. As the sun rises gently, casting shadows along, we remember the beauty in the melody of our song. But the winds turn cold, darkness swept in, invaders arrive, bringing sorrow and sin, destruction they sow as they conquered our land, leaving memories shattered with a merciless.
Okay, hi guys. How's everybody doing? It's been a while. I'm a very busy person, you know. Had to jump ship from here to there, from here to there. So yeah, I'm kind of like mostly focused on my foreign language channel. So I haven't got much time to come and put any content on this or streaming on this channel or my other channel. So, but I want to thank you guys for all your patience and yeah, waiting. So what you guys just heard, it's a song. I kind of prompt the AI, AI songwriting, and it prompt out that song for me. It just my memories, not really mine, but sort of part of my memories, and then my mom, my dad's memory, and my grandpa, grandma's memory, my aunt, great grandpa's memories. So yeah, it's about you used to have a country, a land of your own, and then you'll be conquered by invaders, and then suddenly war came, torn everything apart. You had to, the one that cannot leave will die, or becomes enslaved, or had to change your way of life, or had to be change your identity, change your language, change your culture, change your whatever. Then the one that can run, they run away. Okay? Sergio Chavez, hi. What questions? Yeah, hi to you. Chavez, you must be from Sergio, sounds like Russian to me, or somebody from the Far East. But Chavez sounds like South American, or, right? Chavez. Yeah, so that song kind of based on memories of the old country. Hi, how are you doing today? Good, 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 good. How are you doing? That's the question. You know, I am good today. Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody. So, thank you for joining me today. Okay, I'm good. Thanks for asking. Yes. So, my title here is Left China Forever. Uh, I was a refugee, guys. I was. It's the worst thing to be a refugee. You were treated like rats. You're like animals. You left your whatever war-torn country. You go to somebody's foreign land, somebody's country. They spit on you. They rob you. They rape you. They torture you. They imprison you. And China seems pretty cool in certain places. Yes, it is today. Okay, so like the song that I was playing in the beginning here, it's about in the past, not really in the current time. Okay, not in modern day, but okay. So when you guys look at me, what do you guys think when you see me like right now? You think I'm Chinese, Japanese, uh, Vietnamese, uh, so if I were to be like majority of, or you, am I a Thai person, or Myanmar Burmese, or Tibetan? Uh, you know, it's hard to tell, right? It's hard to tell. If we are just speaking English, then you won't know who I am, what eth- ethnic group, ethnic groups I came from. So in China, there's hundreds of different ethnic groups. So most the one that could not stand the Han Chinese, they left China a long time ago. Like the Burmese, the Thai, the Laotian, the uh, Cantonese, the people that in the U.S., the Chinese, like some of them in Malaysia. So anyway, yeah. So my ancestors, they're from China, but I speak a different language, not the Chinese language. So during the Southern countries, we were part of the Song dynasty, Song countries. So my ancestry were from the Song, Song, the Song country, one of those, the Song. So uh we actually speak different language than the Chinese, the Han Chinese. And back in those days, people in China, every tribe, every country that they they spoke their different language. Not until the Han Chinese took over everything, made China a China, and then everybody had to speak the Chinese, the Mandarin language. At home, they speak their own language, but in public, in municipal, like in government, you know, you had to speak Chinese. So you know why I don't speak Chinese? Because we the one that got away. We were the one that got away. My ancestors got away. Okay? So we left China forever. But our motherland, our place of origin, land, the country we originate, is from the far east, like the way far east. You know, you guys know what that is? We're from the piece of land that right now is part of Russia, but the land belongs to China. So my people that lives there, you know, way in the where the sun rise. Okay. Anyway, so my I am was it the fourth generation that after we came out of China. Okay, fourth generation came out of China. So I do look like Chinese, but my structure looked more like Mongols. You know, Mongolian Mongols. You guys know that? Okay, so this hat is from from South Korea. This shirt is from South Korea. So my wife went to South Korea. She bought me this hat as this shirt as a gift. So you guys ever watch like the old Chinese movie, like Shanghai 13, with Chow Yun-fat, Andy Lau, and was a couple other guys, and they were like hat like this, kind of like the Chinese triad. So anyway, like I said, you know, my ancestor came out of China. As they came out of China, they settled in the northern part of Laos and Vietnam and Thailand. Some of them in Burma or modern day Myanmar. Okay. So they came, three brothers, because they were exterminated by the Chinese Han Chinese. Then we could not possibly live in China anymore. And you know, to the Chinese, we had this old saying: every little boy that has a testicle the size of a bean, okay, would be killed. Okay, so at the time when our ancestors were fighting with the Chinese, if they come to your village, capture one of you alive, you're a little boy, and you have that even the boy has a testicle the size of a bean, you know, like vegetable beans, the seed, you'll be killed. Because the Chinese will eliminate all the men and take all the women as slave, as their own, as their wife, as their women, and then impregnate them with their own babies. So the next generations, there's no longer your race, but just their race. What is that for? Is that like a weapon of war, right? A weapon of war too. So we could not stand the Han Chinese, so we had to flee the country. We had to move to another land. We ran off, run away, escape. The one that stand behind, all the men might be killed, took him slave, you know. I was told by my parents, their parents, and then their parents and my great grandparents down the line in stories. Okay, and sometimes you can't even tell story, so you'll be killed. So they will sew it to your clothes as tapestry. So you ever see one of these Hmong tapestry, and they have a lot of characters. Their clothing, it has a lot of stories on it. So anyway, so generation one, which my the fourth. So they came from China, three brothers, and then they had their own children. Then these children had these children. Then these children had my grandpas and grandma, and then they had my mom, my dad, and then me. So I'm like the fourth, the fifth, I believe. After they came out of China, I'm like the fifth. But that was the past, guy. Whatever happened there, I can't go back. We can't go back. The country was gone, just like this song saying. It's just memories now. The mountain, the rivers, the valley, beautiful, the land. When the invader came, they tore everything apart. Some died, some had to leave, some to survive had to leave, run away, escape. So our memory, our story was always suffering, always suffering. But so my great my my great 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 grandpas, they were the defender of us. They were fighting with the Chinese. So when they left China into Vietnam, then to the mountain of Laos. So there were three brothers. Okay, three brothers. So one of these great grandpa, he was expert on throwing knife, flying knives. These little knife like the Chinese movie. Okay, throwing knife. That's the second brother. The oldest brother of the three, he was like the expert on the spear. You see those big Chinese swords, and it has a spear at the end. It's like a pole, but then at the end, it has a spear. He's one expert on that one. And then the younger brother, he was an expert of these rings. See these rings? It's like a Shaolin martial art rings. Okay? This, you can do a lot of things with this. You can knock somebody else. You can put this right in their head and twist it. Okay? These rings. So one of the younger brother of them was the expert on this from Shaolin martial arts, right? Now then, we know nothing about this thing. I don't know any martial arts. And my dad, my mom, that generation didn't know any martial art. My grandpa and grandma, their generation didn't know any martial art. And their mom, their dad didn't know any martial arts. Why? It's because when these grandpas, the three that came from China, they were very good martial artists because during that time, everybody had to know martial arts. As a kid, you had to learn, defend yourself, defend your people, defend your country. So everybody learned martial arts. Somehow, some way, anyway. So when they came to Laos, these three grandpa escaped the enemies. When they settled in the mountain of Laos, there was no enemy, no more war, no fighting, nobody, no invaders, nothing. Who cares? They're way up in the Highlander. The lowland people don't come and bother them. The Chinese stopped chasing them because they already left China. Whatever enemy they have, no more enemies. So they settled in the mountain Laos. Then these three grandpas died. Each all died. Now, their legacy, their martial art, their skills die with them. So their sons and their daughters became farmers, became like, farmer. Slash and burn in the mountain, plant rice, plant corn, raise livestock, no longer practice martial arts. They thought they're in peace, so nobody bothered them for 100, 40, 50 years, 100 years. So then the next generation, no martial arts, they don't practice no more. And then come to my mom and dad's generation, come to my generation, no more martial arts. So I was told by my grandparents that when they came to China, to the mountain Laos, his younger brother, he no longer had enemies to fight. So what he uses rings for? Okay, so this is old culture. Okay, we don't do this today, but in the village on the mountain, the Highlander. So this great grandpa, he uses ring to capture women. Okay, and he will rape them, using these rings. So back in those days, our women's, in the mountain had no underwears. They do not have underwears. So everything was in the open. They have skirts but no underwears, no undies. So young women will go work in the rice field, in the farm, whatever, they go pick up corn in the forest, foraging for food, whatever it be. So this grandpa will be, hunting them. He'll be waiting in the side of the road somewhere, and he'll spot like his prey. And these women will come walking down the country road, wait in like remote area, and he'll jump on them. So we attack the woman, back then. And the woman will fight, will kick, whatever. He'll get on top of the woman, young woman. And, he'll bend her knees up, and then let me demonstrate this. And the young woman kick, okay, he'll grab around here, he'll put this on the neck, hold from behind, grab from behind, and then kind of like choke him like this, pull from behind, and then he will be doing doggy style. And he will be doing doggy style. And then he will be doing doggy style. But bend her over and do her from behind. Okay? And then he'll pull her like this so that she can't turn. And then he will kiss her in the mouth and the lips. And will pull her so close to him. Now I'm not suggesting you guys go use this, okay? You're a pedophile, don't do that stuff. So I'm just gonna say that generation, the younger brother than grandpa, he was pedophile. He was. I was told my grandma and grandpa that he was a pedophile. So then he's trying to open her skirt, open her legs. She was kicked. He couldn't. He could not get his thing going. So then he'll roll out her legs, and then he'll put this like this. Let's say you curl out your legs and then put this ring on. You can no longer kick. Every time you expand your legs, it hurts, or your bones. Okay, so you cannot kick. So you keep your legs open, and then he'll work his way in. All right, so I know, right? It's kind of weird, but that's what he uses these ring these rings for during that time after they migrate out of China and settle in the mountain of Laos. Okay, and yeah, he horrified, terrifying young women. All right, terrify young women. You know, so he actually got caught one time. Okay, so in those days, back in the mountain, in the village life, just like I said, then women don't they do not have underwears. So when I'm saying something like this, you guys have to imagine what it's like in the middle of 1800s in the mountain of Laos. How people are like. They're not like modern. They're not civilized. They're not modern like today. They pretty much almost close to the Amazonians, the South Americans that still live, the tribal people that still live in the remote area in South America, in the Amazon, in Brazil. Okay, so it's like that. But maybe better than that because they kind of like already know how to farm, raise livestock, and things they already know how to fight battles like spear and those things. So they have writings, language. So it's beyond that. But uh, in this village, when my great grandpa, that guy used to live. Okay, so when I was born, we were different. We were in different part of the country already. So I was born in like 74, 73. During the war in Vietnam and there's chaos in Laos. Okay, and we were refugee here and there, running away, village to village already. So I was a lot of people were misplaced a lot of places. So but in his time, so they lived in this village when the tigers still roaming the land, when the beasts still roaming in the middle of the night, in the great moonlight, okay, in the jungle life, where you know, there's no electricity, no lights at night. You rely on the moon, the sun for your guidance, your light. So like a very bright moonlighting night, you'll see tigers roaming through the village. People live in little huts made out of bamboo, mud, and palm leaves, pretty much, or shingles, woody shingle and bamboo shingles. Imagine that. You guys have to imagine that to understand. So this uncle, this great grandpa, he was commit a lot of. He's a pedophile. I mean, he just he just doing his thing. So he'll wait in the side of the road, hitting some young woman will be alone, working in the farm, raging for food, coming out of the you know trouble alone. He'll jump on it and he'll doing his thing as it goes. But those days, women they don't. There's no security. There's no police. There's no governing. There's people just live in the village. There will be like village leaders, but women never complained. Okay, because yeah, maybe they complain, but they'll be blamed for commit adultery. So young women don't want to be blamed because the man was in control in those days. Women who are already married and got attacked by something like that, got raped, never mentioned anything because they were afraid. They were afraid they would be exposed. Their husband will not no longer wish to have them, will be kicked out of their house, be kicked out of their family, be kicked out of the tribe. So women got raped. They never mention anything. They just go on with their life after that, you know. So this great grandpa was do a lot of, yeah, a lot of attacks. So, you know, he'll be waiting on something like that during the daylight. And so at night, he, like in those days, there's no bathroom in the house, no running water. When the women had to get up in the middle of the night or to go pee, they had to go outside of the little huts, and they go outside maybe a couple of feet, 10, 20 feet, 100 feet away from the house. They actually doing that in the open or in the bush, whatever, you know. So great grandpa was just in the middle of the night. He'll take all his clothes off. He'll apply uh, cooking oil to his whole body. He'll be waiting outside. He know what time, like maybe 10 o'clock. Women will go to sleep at night, so they have to go out and take their last, drainage before they go to bed. Okay, or they had to wake up like 4 or 5 in the morning to go outside and pee and then clean themselves and then come back to cook. And then they have to prepare them breakfast before they go work in the farm, things like that. So he'll apply cooking oil on his whole body, and then he'll be hiding in the dark. So when these neighbors, wife, women, young women, their wife, whatever, whoever's wife, will come out and to the outside and pee. He'll jump behind and do his thing, slip in, slip out. And then the woman won't even scream, because if she screamed, if she screams, the husband will wake up and say, you probably doing purpose. That probably your external lover that you are putting him to come here and do that to you. So women, they will complain, they will complain about it. So anyway, he impregnated a lot of the village wives, you know. So he impregnated a lot of women in the village. They had his blood. I mean his babies. But they don't care. They went on with their life, you know. But here's the thing though. There was a curse. You guys want to know? You do bad thing, it will come back to you. It's a curse. So one night, here's the story. One night, he was totally naked. Okay? Fully naked. So he applied cooking oil. So back in the mountains, they either got the oil from corn or for pork from pig. So they raise like a big, huge pig, and they butcher that pig, and they fry the big fat chunks, and they get the oil out of there, and they use that for cooking vegetable, whatever they want to cook. So he melted out this oil. He applied to his whole body, and one night he did that. He went and he was waiting outside this little home, and he was waiting for that neighbor, whatever village's wife, to come out and for their last drainage before they go to sleep. So he went a little early. So he's waiting, and they're not they're not ready to come out. And the wives, they're doing the cooking, they're eating dinners, they're cooking, they're doing their thing in there with their little kids, family thing, and he's waiting outside in the dark. So, he was doing that, and like a cow happened to come by. He was he was focused too much on the inside of the house, and then a cow came and licked his butt, and he got scared. He jumped, and he ran inside into the house. Okay, and totally nude, and that family was in panic mode. So he got inside. They know who it is. They recognize his face. So then, yeah, they caught him that time and caught him point blank. So the next day, they called the whole village, had a meeting, and a lot of some women came forward, and he was, yeah, he was fine. They didn't kill him or anything. He had to pay them damage. Okay, and he was labeled as the village pedophile, the village rapist, and he had to pay those people that came forward, you know, not with money, but pay them with like rice, corn, and animals. Like near pay them like 3 goats, 1 cow. How severe it is. Okay, and then he go to that extent, you know. So yeah, and my title here, it's that was the end of the his crime, his nasty thing that he did with his rings. Uh, that was a long time ago, guys, in the middle of the 1800s. Let's say about 1878, 1879 in the mountain of Laos. Okay, so we were the very first people came there 1890. There are a lot of people pouring from China up in 1920s. Okay, then they had to get out of Laos. China, because the British came to China. Okay, and they uh, they penalized China with a lot of tax, and then the China went against its people, and then the minority in China they had to leave China because they didn't want to pay taxes. Okay, so that's why great 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 grandpa ended up in Laos. All because the British. All this happened because the British and the Opium War. They came to China and beat the shit out of the Han Chinese government, the King Dynasty, the whatever family, the China government member of China. And then after the war, the Chinese lost the war, surrendered to the British. The British penalized China to pay all this cost, all this damage to the British military, and they had to go to the people and collect a lot of tax from the people. Now the people are angry and they became rebellion against the government. They started their own civil war. So my great 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 grandpa, they were part of the civil war, and they couldn't stay in China. They were fighting against the Chinese, so they fled through Vietnam, through northern Vietnam, through northern Laos, to Thailand, northern Thailand, and they settled in the highlands. That's why we were called the Highlanders, the people in the highlands. Okay, guys? Yeah, so just wanna. It's been a while on this channel, and I haven't keep up with my promise here, coming out live or stream online or kind of do any videos. So I just thought come out, tell a little story, but just let you know I am not Chinese, okay? I am not Chinese. We're not part of China. My ancestors left China many years ago, okay? So yeah, I just want to share this story with you guys, and hopefully something you guys learn, okay?
Where the rivers flow, there lies a memory of a village long ago.
So yeah,
Mountains stand like guardians, reaching
this is
for
what I
the
can remember
sky.
the village we used to
Fields
live,
of vibrant
okay?
flowers where time would softly
Yeah, I want to
sigh.
thank you guys for tuning in, even though it's not
Rice
important,
paddies
but
shimmering,
I still want to
a
keep up
golden
my
sea of
YouTube channel here
grain,
until
echoes of
I have a lot of time that I
laughter
can
in
do
the
a lot
whispers
of
of the rain.
storytellings,
The sun
ghost
would
stories,
cradle children
uh,
as they danced
horror
on the
stories,
green. A world
real life
wrapped
stories
in
of
soft
events that happen.
colors,
So what
lovingly
I'm telling you here, it's
unseen.
like events that happened a long
Oh,
time
take
ago.
me back
Okay?
to where my heart was free, to the village in the mountains where I long to be.
All right, so we'll see you next time, people. Thank you for tuning in and listening to my craps.